12th standard Biozoology, Chapter 5 Molecular Genetics. In this part, we are going to see the second and third stage of translation. In the previous part, we discussed about the first stage of translation, that is initiation. In this part, we are going to discuss about the elongation and termination. Translation involves three stages: initiation, elongation, and termination. In initiation, the initiator tRNA comes to the P site of ribosome. The initiator tRNA pairs with start codon of mRNA, and the initiator tRNA brings one amino acid. So this is the beginning of protein synthesis. When another tRNA brings another amino acid, and many tRNAs bring amino acids one by one and are connected by peptide bond, a polypeptide chain grows, that is protein. At the end of initiation complex is formed. The smaller and larger subunit of ribosomes bind together so that three sites are created: A site, P site, and E site. E site, through the E site, uncharged tRNA escapes. Now let us see what is P site and what is A site and P site. A site is amino acyl site. A charged tRNA is called as amino acyl tRNA. This amino acyl tRNA comes to this site. P site is called peptidyl site. It carries the growing polypeptide chain. The tRNA found on the P site carries the growing polypeptide chain. The charged initiator tRNA binds to the P site. At the beginning of protein synthesis, the charged initiator tRNA binds to the P site. All other tRNAs first come to the A site only. The next step in prokaryotic translation is to position the second tRNA at the A site. This is second tRNA. Positioning of second tRNA to the A site brings a second amino acid. Now the polypeptide chain begins to grow, that is elongation. This elongation needs elongation factor Tu and GTP. Elongation factor Tu and the energy GTP help the positioning of the second tRNA to the A site. Now the second tRNA is positioned at the A site. Second tRNA comes to the A site. Then what will happen? We have already learned in 11th standard also base pair rule. The bases are connected by hydrogen bonds. UUC are bases in codon of mRNA. AAG are bases of anticodon tRNA. Hydrogen bond is formed between codon and anticodon. Second codon and second anticodon of second tRNA. This hydrogen bond formation is a hydrogen bond formed between anticodon of second tRNA and the second codon of mRNA. This is anticodon of second tRNA and this is second codon of mRNA. This hydrogen bond formation needs energy. This hydrogen bond formation step requires the correct transfer of tRNA. Already correct tRNA is transferred, and another one GTP is used to bring the second tRNA. Another GTP is necessary to make hydrogen bond. And elongation factors Ts and elongation factors Tu are also necessary for this step. Ts is thermostable, Tu is thermo unstable. Hydrogen bond formation needs GTP energy and elongation factors. Once the charged tRNA molecule is positioned at the site, the enzyme peptidyl transferase catalyzes the formation of peptide bond that links two amino acids. Once the charged tRNA is positioned at the A site, enzyme peptidyl transferase catalyzes the formation of peptide bond between two amino acids. Enzyme peptidyl transferase catalyzes the formation of peptide bond between two amino acids. Already we have learned in previous part under the heading amino acylation, when two charged tRNAs carrying two amino acids are brought together, peptide bond formation will be facilitated by peptidyl transferase. A peptide bond is formed in between the first and second amino acids. After the peptide bond formation also, now peptide bond formation happens between two amino acids. Now the first amino acid remains attached to the tRNA which is on the P site. The first tRNA is on P site. The amino acid still attaches itself on the tRNA by means of covalent bond. A covalent bond connects this tRNA with this amino acid. When the bond is broken, a dipeptide will be formed. The covalent bond between the amino acid and tRNA occupying the P site. Covalent bond between the amino acid and tRNA occupying the P site is hydrolyzed and broken. So a dipeptide is formed. Dipeptide, two amino acids connected by peptide bond. The dipeptide is attached to the 3' end of tRNA still residing in the A site. The dipeptide is attached to the 3' end of tRNA which is attached to the A site. This tRNA is attached to the A site. This tRNA carries the dipeptide. Then what is necessary? A third tRNA has to come. A third tRNA has to come to the A site. For that, the second tRNA move to the P site. If the second tRNA has to move to the P site, the uncharged tRNA, it has no amino acid, the uncharged tRNA has to leave the P site. It will leave the P site through the escape E site. The uncharged tRNA leaves. Now what is possible? The tRNA which is found on the A site can move to the P site so that the third tRNA can come to the A site. The uncharged tRNA moves through the E site on the ribosome. This step requires several elongation factors and the energy derived from hydrolysis of ATP. By using energy ATP and elongation factors, the tRNA escapes. So the second tRNA comes to the P site. The A site is ready to receive the third tRNA, third charged tRNA. The third triplet of mRNA accepts another charged tRNA into the A site. This is third triplet. It is ready to receive a charged tRNA. This is charged tRNA. This tRNA will come to the A site. When the first tRNA leaves the ribosome, the mRNA moves towards the P site by 3 codons. Already we discussed the uncharged tRNA leaves the ribosome. At that time, the mRNA moves towards the P site by 3 codons. So the third codon comes to the A site. It is ready to receive the third tRNA, charged tRNA. The third tRNA, when the third charged tRNA comes to here, third amino acid will be added. This process will repeat. This sequence of elongation is repeated over and over. Step 5, step 6 and step 7. When fourth tRNA comes, 4 amino acids will be added. When fifth tRNA comes, 5 amino acids will be added. When the tRNA comes, it adds amino acid. Whenever the tRNA reads the codon, it brings one amino acid. The amino acid is added to the growing polypeptide chain. As the amino acids are added, the polypeptide chain grows. An additional amino acid is added to the growing polypeptide chain. At each time, mRNA advances through the ribosome. The mRNA moves this direction, so ribosome moves here. At each time, one amino acid is added, the mRNA moves here. So here many amino acids have already added. When all the amino acids are added, the polypeptide chain is assembled. When all the amino acids are added, the polypeptide chain is assembled. The assembled polypeptide chain comes at the base of emerges out at the base of the ribosome. The assembled polypeptide chain emerges out at the base of the ribosome. Now all the amino acids have been added. The next codon is stop codon, UGA. There are 3 stop codons. UGA is also a stop codon. When the A site of ribosome receives stop codon, or we can say when the stop codon like UGA appear on the A site, the stop codon gives signal for the releasing of polypeptide chain. The stop codon gives signal for the releasing of polypeptide chain. So the polypeptide chain is cut off from the last tRNA. It moves after the ribosome. UGA is a stop codon. It appears on A site. Termination takes place when the stop codon appears on the A site of the ribosome. This gives signal for the releasing of polypeptide chain. The terminal codon signals the action of GTP dependent release factor. Release factor cuts the polypeptide chain. It breaks a covalent bond between the tRNA, last tRNA and polypeptide chain. So polypeptide chain cuts off. It is called as GTP dependent release factor. This release factor needs GTP energy. For the working of the release factor, the signal is given by stop codon. UGA is a stop codon. When the stop codon appears on the A site of ribosome, it gives signal for the working of release factor. The release factor is GTP dependent release factor. It needs GTP energy. This release factor cleaves the polypeptide chain from the terminal tRNA. Release factor cuts off the polypeptide chain from the last tRNA and releasing the polypeptide chain from translational complex. tRNA, mRNA, ribosomes form translational complex. The polypeptide chain is released from the translational complex by the releasing factor. Then what will happen? Now we are discussing about termination. Termination takes place when the termination codon reaches the A site. It gives signal, so the polypeptide chain cuts off. This is step 1 of termination. Afterwards, the 2 ribosomal subunits dissociate. The 2 ribosomal subunits dissociate. After the separation of 2 ribosomal subunits, the tRNA also moves. The tRNA is released. This is the end of termination. So with that we come to the end of the translation. It is nothing but protein synthesis.